Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here. Welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am so grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. You know, there's a book called The Power of Truth, and in that book, there's a quote, and I'm going to come back to this before the end because how this book circuitously got back to me. But there's a quote by William George Jordan. Now, understand this book was written in the late 1800s, maybe 1901, something like that, right there at the turn of the century. And he has a chapter on what he calls the courage to face ingratitude. And that just, I thought about that a lot. He has another term in there that kind of got me going, and that's thoughtless thoughtfulness. But anyway, in that chapter, he states, among other things, the more unselfish, he's talking about us, the individuals. So the more unselfish, charitable, and exalted the life and mission of the individual, the larger number of instances of ingratitude that must be met and vanquished. Okay, so the courage to face ingratitude. The first phase is thoughtless ingratitude. The second phase is what we call denial. It's a positive sin. The third phase of ingratitude is treachery, where selfishness grows vindictive. So, thoughtlessness, denial, and treachery run the gamut of ingratitude. And the first leads to the second prepares the way for the third. We don't have time to talk about all three, but right now, let's just talk about thoughtless thoughtfulness, about the first one of thoughtlessness. First of all, he defines gratitude, he expresses gratitude this way. He says, gratitude is thankfulness expressed in action. It is the heart's recognition of kindness that lips can't repay. Gratitude is the flowering of a seed of kindness. Ingratitude is the dead activity of a seed dropped on stone. So what is thoughtless thoughtfulness? Thoughtless thoughtfulness is really kind of paradoxical. It can be defined as the act of performing seemingly thoughtful deeds without genuine consideration, awareness, or empathy. It involves going through the motions of being thoughtful, many times, most times out of habit or social expectation or a desire for something that's going to benefit you, rather than from a place of true understanding or care, really, for the recipient's feelings or needs. So, have you ever taken a moment to think about the countless small acts of kindness that you receive daily that go unnoticed or unacknowledged? When was the last time you felt truly grateful for something someone did for you, but you never actually expressed it? What stopped you? Okay, I gave this book away. He thanked me in the moment, but then he took it to another level. He showed me the usefulness of it. He sent it to me with a note coming back. That is a strong representation of gratitude. Now, I think, wow, that was really awesome for him. My role now, if I don't respond, will he think that I have been ungrateful to him? So can you recall a time when someone's effort or kindness towards you went unrecognized? And how might that have made them feel? But then there's another side to it, and that is when we do it because we go in with the expectation of getting something in return. We do it because either we want to feel good or something comes up on it. So here's a couple other questions. Do you find yourself feeling disappointed or unappreciated when your acts of kindness or hard work aren't acknowledged? So why do you think that? Why do you think that is? Second question, how often do you do something nice for others with the expectation of being thanked or recognized? And does that affect your motivation to do good in the first place? And the third question, have you ever caught yourself helping someone primarily for recognition or reward rather than from the heart? So what does that tell you about your need for external validation? So thoughtless thoughtfulness. Thoughtless thoughtfulness. Thoughtless thoughtfulness. So in his words, in William George Jordan's words, let the sunlight of our sympathy, tenderness, love, appreciation, influence, and kindness ever go out from us, a glow to brighten and hearten others, but do not let us ever spoil it by going through life constantly collecting receipts as vouchers to stick on the file of our self-approval. So this week, as we go into count your blessings, are you acknowledging your blessings? And then are you expressing gratitude because you expect something in return? It's a good challenge. I'm going to accept it. How about you? Let's have a meaningful week. I look forward to talking to you next week. Onward, upward, and outward, arrows out. Bye-bye.